It's not just done for the sparrow or other birds, which
being picked off now.
well, they'll just integrate migrate over to another part of it. But there's other habitats. It's not a very particular habitat. Franklin's they see out there is not a very sort of strange habitat. There are all the habitats around here that those birds or other animals can use.
I understand what you're saying to a certain degree, but this whole moving over and picking up new residents, it was that easy. You know, the sparrows be blocked down the first line and not guard attendants. Thank you.
Yeah, you've been.
I really look forward to the island being capped. We have waited so long for this, and I'd really like to see a permanent fix on this island. But the bottom line is, like you said, it took a long time for you to come forward, and what happens is a lot of rumors. Everybody has hearsay. I really wish you would work closely with the community. I mean, like I said 3 times before, I am on the community board for 15. I know that lies in 18, but it affects 15. And I would hope that, you know, you reach out to the community and let us know what's going on so we don't live on rumors and fears and all this other stuff. I want to make sure that the project coincides with human lifestyle. I mean, you know, we can all live very happily together, and we have. I mean, my neighbors are raccoons now. And, you know, we have wildlife around us, we have children around us, we want to keep this area for our children, but we need to know what's going on, and we would like to be able to be a help toward it. I mean, there are things that we know, maybe about this island, that you'll never find out. You know, so we can be in a partnership with this like we have with the rest of the parks. And I just ask that you don't exclude us and that we can coexist with the habitat. All right? I mean, you know, we've heard this thing with the sparrow, and there's rumors that the piping plover is coming over. And we just don't want a project that is going to stop our way of living. It's been passed down from me for generations. I want it there for my kids as well. So that's all I exist. Reach out to us.
Get his telephone number.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the problems with ours. And again, I apologize in that the process on this one is a little different than we usually present projects, because normally we'll always come out to the community board. In that, normally at least when we have sort of a plan in place of, you know, a more definite plan, that's the time that we normally come. And I understand it doesn't excuse it.
I'm on the committee for the Jamaica Bay restoration. This project is nowhere to be in that whatsoever. I mean, if we're in Jamaica Bay and this project isn't part of it, that's absurd.
I know, and again, I apologize. It's what we do of everything. We get more finalized plans. Again, we'll come back. Once we get past the DEC and we have a better idea in terms of how the edges are going to be treated and stuff like that, then we come back with more definite answers. At this point, it's more, I don't want to say in the schematics, but it's sort of in the earlier stages that it's a little bit different than how we normally, you know, if we're doing a project.
Sure, or your money is not put into planning and after the project doesn't reach its end because we don't have money because of all your planning.
Oh, no, no,
come up with a project.
All the money right now is all going for the reconstruction. That's that.
When
you know, when the beds were put around, what, about 5 years ago?
Yes.
It was a waste of money.
11.
They all ripped apart and fell into the water. It was a waste of money.
It's still the majority.
That's
There's put in place, but it was
to
also
us.
done as an emergency contract. Just something, I know it was a temporary solution because I think the idea was back when it was done that shortly thereafter that the reconstruction would happen. But again, when all of a sudden we couldn't get the sand that we were hoping to, the budget blew up much harder than what we were expecting. And that's why it took as long as it did to this point to get enough money in place in order to reconstruct.
There are still a lot of the same days still up.
Overall, it's still, I mean, there's a couple of giant carpet behind it, and then the sandbags are in front of it. So we've gone out there, I think pretty much most of it's pretty much all still intact. There may be one area where it's starting to breach a little bit, but I don't know, I think that's still actually in pretty good shape. But again, this is what we're looking to do now is this permanent solution. Like I said, some of it will be more natural.
What about marsh?
We have a question over here. People had asked about where did the funds come from this project? This question's been asked us. Where did the money actually come from?
I believe this is all mayoral money.
And allocated now or from the past?
Allocated now. This is recent, within I think the last year that it was allocated. Within the last budget that was put forward. Red Sea, about a year ago today, that's when all of a sudden money got put in place. And then we knew we had the funds to then start getting a consultant on board for the redesign and then start on the phase that's actually going on now.
Okay, the total project was the cost?
It was roughly between the two parts about $15 million. That's why it took so long to get to this point.
Any dredging going to take place? I mean, the reconfiguration of the island has changed like 9 times over.
We're not expecting to do any dredging on it. I mean,
What about around it?
excuse me.
What about around it? Dredging around it?
This is not expected because the sand we're hoping to get is hopefully is going to be coming. Part of it we're hoping to get from the gateway development project that's going on. We're still actually looking for sources of sand. The problem is with dredging, you can't just take the sand that's dredged and put it right on the island. This problem is the weight from all the water that's in there, afraid of actually pushing and then pushing the garbage out, which creates a nightmare scenario. So the problem that we have is that even after you dredge it, you have to bring it somewhere, de-water it, let the water come out,
Well, that's what they
and pick
did,
it up,
what, 30
and
years
bring
ago
it
with
back
the
on.
pipeline.
And that's
Put it
part
on
of the
the
expense of that is what's, there's a couple different things, way to look at it. We were hoping to get money or some of the sand from Army Corps from some of their dredging projects, but the problem is some of their contracts aren't like every other dredging cycle, but also there's a priority, and the sand from their dredging projects, the priority goes to beach renourishment. So in terms of priority level, this is kind of low on Army Corps' list of priorities. So at this point, we're trying to look for other...
The first dredging project they had here maybe 40 years ago. The dredging that went on to the Gerritsen side where there was no, and then it was relocated over.
I'm also concerned that the dredging that will take, if there is any here, you're also going to be stirring up the water. And again, just like unearthing, bad worms, the water quality is going to go, right into the toilet.
Well, that's it. This one, we don't have any plans to do any dredging. The only way we would have been was is if, depending on how we would have had access to the island and sand, if it was something that we were going to barge it in order for a barge to get in, then we might have, at that point, we might have had to, where it gets barge close enough, so you get the sand off the barge and onto the island. But what we're looking to do now is actually put a temporary pontoon bridge right by where the golf course is, where the driving range is. It'll be temporary, so we'll be driving across. This is also to do it that way is a tremendous money savings. Again, if you have to take the sand, load it into a barge, then you got to bring a barge across, then you got to get a crane, put a clamshell on the side to take it, pull it off, and all that handling just drives the cost of everything through, especially now fuel and everything else going up. So at this point, we're trying to find the most direct access across in order to get everything accomplished.
What about the old bridge?
The old bridge, we actually just came from a meeting, we were just kind of discussing that. A lot of it, again, everything's going to depend on money. If we have the money, we'd like to take it out, but also, I'm feeling, we're also going to have to go back to Army Corps of Engineers and New York State DEC
Can you bring
to
that
get
up?
permission to, we could have,
But pontoons, now, if they have pontoons at the bridge or whatever they're gonna do, then you won't be able to get around the island, like with...
while it's in construction, after it's finished, after construction is complete, and the sand is over there, then pontoons will be, then everything will be opened up again.
I think that...
Will you be allowed to go around where it's blocked and then back around the other way, or will you just, let's say, they're going to cut off all access to it?
I don't expect it to be closed off altogether, or even, I mean, we wouldn't be able to pass if the pontoons are going on that side, then the outside would block it.